Hello, this is John Diaz, presidential candidate running for presidency of the United States. And I'm running as an independent. I'm making this video number 4. And the purpose of this video is to analyze videos 1 through 3. I'm here in the wilderness in Pennsylvania. It snowed about 5 or 6 inches today. And recapping the videos 1 through 3. On the first and second video, I was introducing the bonus program. That's my way of rewarding the American workers and saying thank you. You can go back and look at those videos if you want more information on the bonus program, but briefly, it's basically a program that rewards people, the working people in America, citizens of the United States that make up to $100,000 a year. And they get benefited by having a bonus on a weekly basis. It's also meant to help the homeless people in America. It's supposed to help them so they can get themselves financial assistance to be able to survive and help themselves with whatever they may need. So that's one benefit right there. As we analyze the 3 videos I've made so far, we're helping the homeless population in America. And it's also incentivizing those people to get a job, whether it's a part-time job or a full-time job, so they can get a bigger bonus. To briefly describe it so this doesn't become confusing, anybody that doesn't work in America that's unemployed at the age of 18 and over would get $600 a week. And anybody who has a part-time job gets $700, full-time job gets $800. And then there's a category of occupations that would be getting $900 a week, which would be the elderly, truck drivers with Class A and B licenses, truck drivers and bus drivers. I want to clarify that. And also the elderly across the board. That's my way of thanking them for all the work they've done in their lifetime. And I think a lot of elderly would be happy about that, because what's currently given, I hear a lot of stories of struggle. And all the caregivers in America, whether they're caring for family members, a family member that's elderly in need of care, or a single parent caring for their kids at home. So all these people qualify for that. So that's a big boost to the economy. Imagine all the possibilities of people spending their money in whatever they might need to help themselves. And then as we move along, we talked on the following video, video number 3, about the wilderness. We can call that forestry management, cleaning up all the debris, which will set off a chain reaction of employing a lot of equipment, a lot of specialized operators. There would be a lot of employment for special equipment operators. It would also be a chain reaction for trucking. It would boost trucking. And with the bonus program, that would also boost trucking as the economy rises. It'll help the trucking sector in all possibilities. And with forestry management, you're going to have a lot of trucks carrying out all the logs and all the debris, a lot of tree contractors contracting with the government to clean up land, the forest land. So a lot of tree contractors will have a lot of work, which means they can grow their businesses, they can employ people to contribute to the American economy, to expand. As I've mentioned several times, my intention is to have a robust economy that makes people's lives become stable so people can have a stabilized lifestyle where they know that they're getting financial assistance from all sides, whether it's the possibility of the bonus program and employment. And this will all contribute to having a robust economy. So the forestry management, that's a huge one because that's something that's not existing at the moment. My understanding at the moment is that people can buy, like a $50 permit to chop firewood of trees that are already downed. And the government specifies how much firewood they're supposed to take out. So that's something that's a very small scale in the total scheme of the picture. Then another possibility here is as trees that are dried up are removed and taken down and the wood is processed and the stump is removed from the dead trees, they can install new trees. They could even transplant trees. Nowadays we have equipment that are transplanters where they can take a tree right out of the woods and plant it to fill up the gap of wherever that tree was. And you're also going to open up space. If you look at the woods, there's a lot of dead trees out there nowadays. And, you're going to basically thin out the woods some. You're going to have more sunlight coming in, more growth. And as you clean up the woods, there'll be more growth because you're getting all the debris out, which means that the ground will be clear for growth. So there's a lot of possibilities. You can have a lot of farms raising trees to put into the woods to basically sell and install to the government. And that'll also help a lot of landscape contractors. It'll help tree contractors, landscape contractors. And as the economy grows and becomes robust, there's so many other possibilities. With a robust economy comes housing, new housing, developing. And then we have the other item, which was litter collection all across America and even around the world. This is a sector where we can employ millions and millions of people, not to mention the forestry management. This could be a number up to 10 million new jobs. And then think about the expansion of the trucking for all that. Another thing that I feel about litter collection is that the way it's done now, people just kind of collect litter and put it in a bag and it ends up in the landfill. I think that the litter should be classified and sorted, and it should be sent to a facility where they do further sorting for recycling purposes. I think that the whole trash management has to be refined a bit. I think there's a lot of things many billions of tons that go to the landfill of products that could be recycled. So I think that is something that needs to be talked about, and a plan needs to be developed on how to properly recycle and properly, what goes to landfills, what doesn't. So I think as society grows, the whole trash management needs to be redefined in a sense. Um, so there's a lot of avenues from all of this, a lot of new employment that doesn't exist at the moment. And as I told you all, another item that I had mentioned before is on, I think it was video number 3, I mentioned about having a robust economy on the first year. I'm talking about an economy that's 2 to 3 times larger than it is already, to raise capital, to raise an enormous amount of capital to instill the bonus program after the first year. Now, this is going to require unity to pull this off, where I get both sides of the aisle to come together and to do something really for once to reward the people in America and to really keep capitalism alive and to enlighten the American dream. All these little things I've mentioned so far, which have been just a few items, if you open up your imagination, it's a pretty big scheme. And I haven't even gotten to the big parts yet that I'm going to mention. So I encourage everyone to continue to watch the videos. As I mentioned before, when we look at the woods here and look at so many trees down on the floor, it's incredible. Just right here in front of me is a large one. That one there's been uprooted. Another one right there. The piece is standing up where it splintered off. So much work here in forestry management, something that hasn't been tapped into. There's so many possibilities. I mean, the government can also construct shelter for animals across the wooded areas where animals can take shelter. That's something that's never been implemented that I know of. They could even make tree houses, just so many things that could be done. So there's so much land, as I mentioned before. We're talking here about 800, I think it's 800, almost a billion acres. Let's put, I think 800 million acres in America that are forested woods, state-owned property. And right now it's just pretty much neglected. Just trees down everywhere. It's neglected, and in a sense, it's a bit dangerous too, because let's see here. As I was coming in here, I noticed a large tree leaning. I think it's outside where I was coming in actually. But I'll start walking out. If I see it, I'll point it out. There's trees that are leaning on other trees that are dangerous. And if they fall at any moment, if someone would happen to be under a tree like that, they could get hurt or killed. Or not to mention just a wild animal. So I think animals is another thing that I'm also interested in helping, all the animals so they can also have a better life. That's something that we usually don't think about. But, I think that it'd be worth discussing how to make it safer for animals as well. But this is the tree I was talking about right here. That one's just leaning on another tree, and the other tree that it's leaning on is also dead. That tree's also dead, and the one that's leaning's dead. Obviously it's dead because it's fallen, so that needs to be cut down and processed. And then There's another one right there. And then, you know, as you look here, like on the last video, everywhere you look, there's either dead trees, like see here's the piece that is splintered off. All those trees are just taking up space. Here's another one, just the trunk of it, the base of the tree. And then back there, you have another one that's leaning over there. And I could go on, but I think everybody's starting to open up their imagination. If you really think about everything I'm saying, there's an enormous amount of possibilities. Now, I also want to take this moment to tell everybody I'm not like some candidates that talk for one thing or the other.